Ladies and gentlemen, who would win? Sturm, the villain of the first two Advance Wars games. An intergalactic conqueror from outer space who can call down meteors on his foes. Or a little boy with a lot of money. Now, I think we can all agree that if this was Advance Wars 2 cartridge Sturm, the little boy with money would not stand much of a chance. But if you go on Advance Wars by Web and you pick Sturm, you don't get the Advance Wars 2 cartridge version of him, you get sort of like a weird version of his Advanced Wars 1 versus Sturm. In case you don't know, in the very first game, Sturm is actually quite similar to Grim, believe it or not. When you face him in the campaign, he has 30% extra firepower and 20% less defense. It's the exact same day-to-day bonus that Grim has, leading many to joke that Sturm is actually Grim. I think I made that joke a few times at least. So, however, if you unlock Sturm as a playable CO in Advance Wars 1, then you get kind of like a weird version of him if you try to play him in the War Room or any other mode outside of the campaign, where he has 20% extra defense and 20% less firepower. So he kind of like reverses his day-to-day bonuses, which is kind of strange. And instead of the 8 HP meteor, he gets a 4 HP meteor. I think they did this because they thought maybe Campaign Sturm was too broken. But then again, Advance Wars 1 max exists, so I don't really know why they'd think this. But either way, Advance Wars by Web clearly thought that cartridge Sturm was too broken. So they gave us this Sturm, which, again, he works very similarly to its Advanced Wars 1 versus self, except that he also has access to his 8 HP meteor. They just gave him two powers, a normal and a superpower. So this is kind of one of the weirdest changes that Advance Wars by Web did, and one that I'm not sure if they're ever going to reverse. I mean, they nerfed Drake recently, so that he would be cartridge accurate, so are we going to see Sturm, like, meet the same fate? I don't know. The thing about Sturm, though, is that unlike Colin, you actually can see him in competitive play sometimes. He is available as a tier 1-0 on certain fog maps. So, as a result, I don't think they really want to touch him because he's already kind of ingrained in the metagame on some maps. Colin, on the other hand, is almost banned. So they're both tier 0. One of them is sometimes allowed, the other one is always banned. So clearly, Colin should be the stronger CO, yeah? Well, it turns out that this matchup is actually a lot more interesting than you might think. Because, well, Colin, he's a snowball CO, right? He's really good on high economy maps. But Sturm is in this weird spot where he's like a weird rushy CO with strong recons, but he doesn't deal a lot of damage. So he actually gets like out a lot of indirects in the mid game. He harasses with recons early on, and then in the mid to late game he transitions over to this like weird death ball where he just like inches forward with artillery and unkillable troops. And Colin, with his day-to-day bonus, which normally isn't seen as that big of a deal, minus 10% firepower is a very small price to pay for the busted arsenal that Colin has. But if we really compared the two, remember, when you have less firepower and you go up against the CO with defense, it doesn't feel good. Colin is just not able to really damage Sturm's forces. And so the question is, can he snowball up faster than Sturm? And that's why we decided to create this meme matchup right here. You guys do seem to love it when I take two Grandmasters and make them play like a weird matchup, and that's exactly what we're doing today. Two very strong players right here. We got Nightmare of Hyeonkyo, aka Reimer. Easily one of the best fog players in the world. He's up against Kill Me First, who I also think is probably one of the strongest players in the world at the moment. Look at that win-loss ratio. It's kind of crazy. Kill Me First has been on such a roll lately. He has really, really proven himself. So this is going to be a pretty insane matchup, and also a very unorthodox matchup. Map that they're playing on is called And Hell Followed. It's a fog map. You actually got 2 HQs. Now, a lot of people might be very confused by that. Like, oh my god, 2 HQs, how does that work? Well, it's not something you'd ever see on the cartridge because you can't place 2 HQs, but how it works is if one of them gets captured, you lose. So it basically means you have to guard 2 points at once. So this leads to some very interesting matches where you can see HQ rushes on both sides, or like really big rushes towards the HQ. They do have black boats on them, so you gotta blast them down with an artillery or some kind of air units because they won't die easily. But yeah, there are rivers here, as you can see. Rivers over the bases, like this base right here. Now this base starts out captured by blue. It's just a first turn advantage kind of thing, so Black Hole has to capture this base. But one thing that makes Sturm incredibly strong on this map, of course, is look at the terrain. Look at the woods in front of the bases, and look at this river right here. You can build an infantry and just go like this. So Sturm's going to have a very big capture advantage early on this map. But of course, the question is, can he face the Colin snowball? Because the longer Colin plays, the stronger Colin gets. Because the more money he gets, 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 and the more money he gets. It actually is kind of like capitalism in real life, you know? Money creates money. That is Colin in a nutshell. He's a very cool design CEO like that, you know, except for the fact that he's utterly broken. But I do like how he's designed. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us see how these two CEOs square off, shall we? Let's begin. So, I'm probably just going to call him Reimer, or I'll say Nightmare to not confuse you guys. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Oh, UI is breaking apart a little bit. So we got my Nightmare. I have no idea what is going on right here. What the hell? You guys see this? I have absolutely no clue what is happening. I'm probably gonna have to like do a refresh, so I'm gonna fade to black super quick. There we go. I didn't want to like spoil the results of the match, so I have no idea what's going on. So some weird UI shenanigans, probably my plugins breaking again, I guess. So you see, if you refresh, it goes straight to the end of the replay, and it'll spoil the results of the match, which we obviously don't want. Now, there's something I would like to do here. There you go. I like it when units face each other. So already we can see right here, recon heading out, and look at the movement range on this thing. It is not slowed down in the slightest. Kill Me First is actually also opening up a recon, which I mean, guess is fine, but look how slow his recon is compared to Sturm's recon. I mean, that is just insane. But of course, I mean, that 20% reduction in deployment is really nice. It allows Colin to tank up so much faster than his opponent. He can get neo-tanks out before his opponent has medium tanks on the field, and that's exactly what Kill Me First wants to do. Maybe not neo-tanks, but he definitely wants to tank up to a medium tank early on, so that he has some way of driving away those Sturm tanks, which will be pounding on his front door. And just to show you guys, I really would like to show you guys just how difficult it is for Colin to deal with Sturm in this situation. Like, imagine if he's like on a forest and you're attacking him from a plains. Just look at this. Look at this. If it's on a city, like, you're hardly dealing damage at all. I mean, this is just insane, right? So, very hard to fight against defense when your firepower is reduced. It kind of... And already here we can see the recon. I mean, the tank is not... the tank is going to be able to guard, actually, but the recon probably doesn't care because it's hardly going to take damage. And it gets to interrupt the capture, which is all it really wants to do. Second Sturm recon is making its way down here, so you can see already Nightmare is putting on the pressure in a big way. And look at those infantry, using the Black Boat to boost them forward. Like, one thing we will see here, yeah, Colin may be an eco-CO, but Nightmare's economy is just going to be so strong. Here we go. He still brings the infantry down to 6 HP. So Nightmare's going to have a big eco advantage. And look at that. Only bringing the recon down to 4 HP. It's still a good recon. He can pull it back, use it to scout. Because of its insane movement, there's no way he's ever going to catch it. He can just use that as a vision, which is so nice. Day 6 rolls in. And you can see right now, Nightmare's economy is just going to skyrocket. He has 7 properties captured already. And more recons are coming in. They're buzzing around like flies. And the tank can't really reveal this on his own. I guess he could bring in the infantry, but that would forego his own capture. And he really needs every property that he can get right now. 17 properties to 13 properties. I mean, the eco advantage is real right here. And he actually does do that. He actually does forego his capture to reveal the recon. I'm not sure how smart that is. He almost, yeah, he gets some interruptions gone. Here's 8-7. Just look at that. My goodness. He picks off one recon, but there's another one right behind it. So I guess that is okay. Sacrificing an infantry. Sacrificing an infantry to deal with a recon is probably smart, but Sturm's always going to have more recons, right? Now, Kill Me First has successfully captured 2 com towers, so he's... But, of course, Nightmare's going to get his com towers shortly. He's ignored them for now, but he's going to go for them in short order. And I'd say a map with 2 com towers is probably more favorable towards Colin, because Again, he just needs every bit of firepower that he can get to actually be able to deal with Sturm's forces. There's not going to be any wall breaking coming from Colin in this particular matchup. It's just not going to happen, right? Recon comes in, tank. Day 7 rolls in, Anti-Air comes in as well. And yeah, good moves from Kill Me First right here. Dealing with the mech. And he's being kind of cheeky here, attacking the Recon. There's probably going to be tanks behind it, and there are. Builds a Battlecopter. Now, one thing I will say about Sturm is his Battlecopter game is not that great. Because, first of all, his Battlecopters are not really that good. Because, again, Sturm moves over all terrain equally. And also, like, his Battlecopters, despite their defense boost, still get killed by Anti-Air. So, I find that Sturm Battlecopters are pretty weak. And, there is an airport here that both players can unlock if they are willing to build some artillery. Both players are going to struggle to break down that pipe seam, I think. Colin will, with 2 comm towers, he can probably do it in 1 turn, or 2 turns, I think. But Sturm might take 3, even with 2 comm towers. So, Kill Me First does get attacked here, 9-4. There are now 2 comm towers, 3 comm towers for Nightmare right now, so he actually has some decent firepower right now. Battlecopter coming in from Sturm. Let's see what Kill Me First can do to stop this. He's struggling on this left side right now. There's going to be a big, strong push, so he needs to be very careful. He needs to... Okay, good. The Anti-Air is here to block the Battlecopter. Well played by Kill Me First. He now goes for his comm towers. He's going to have 3 comm towers very soon. But what is he going to do against this push on his left side? It's going to be very scary. He built some Battlecopters. And he has mechs ready to defend. Yeah, this base right here, by the way, can only produce mechs. It can produce vehicles, but they'd be stuck there. This is a mech-only base, so you're gonna see a lot of mechs on this side, which I think is fine. Like, mechs are cool for defense and all. Let's see what Nightmare decides to do. He interrupts the comm tower, so he delays that firepower bonus a little bit. Mechs in the mountains. And Nightmare actually now decides to pull back from this position, and he's gonna probably focus all of his attention on this right-hand side right now. Kill Me First has his Gold Rush built up right now, but the thing about Colin and his Gold Rush is you do not want to find yourself in a situation where you pump Gold Rush immediately. If your opponent is applying a lot of pressure on you, you have to pop it right away. But here's the thing about Colin. If you don't apply enough pressure to him, and he feels comfortable, he will just not pop his Gold Rush and build up his money. So what you can do now, if you're not feeling the pressure, is you can just build infantry to increase your unit count. Bank the rest of your money, wait until next turn, and get a huge investment on your Gold Rush. The question is, does Kill Me First feel comfortable enough to do that, or does he feel like popping his Gold Rush right away? It might be that if he just builds infantry and he doesn't pop it, he might just get overrun. So let's see what he decides to do. He takes down the Battlecopter, gets some power charge. And I don't know, is he going to pop it? He hasn't built any unit. No, he's built a mech. He's gonna save up some money. Here's the problem, though. He builds the Battlecopter, and he only banks up. He spends most of his money, so I kind of disagree with this a little bit. I feel like you should either pop the Gold Rush right away, or you should just build infantry. But Kill Me First is doing this kind of middle thing where he's using his money, but he's saving his power charge, which I disagree with, because if your opponent is going to apply pressure to you, then you should probably just pop the Gold Rush and get the extra units. Or if your opponent is not applying pressure, you should just build infantry and save up for a huge investment return and really get that snowball rolling. I feel like this is the worst this is the worst middle ground between the two, where you're not really getting either. Sure, you save a power charge, which is nice. You might be able to pop 2 consecutive Gold Rushers, which is maybe what he's trying to do here. But I think because he's not popping his power, I think Nightmare is now really going to lay on the pressure. And I think he's just going to be forced to pop a regular Gold Rush. Because there's a huge attack incoming. And here's the thing about the Gold Rush. It's not just about the money. Oh, he's not. He's really saying... Is he going to go for a power of money here? Or is he going to bank up? I feel like he needs to bank up some money right now. He is building infantry. He's going to bank 13k. Please don't build a Battlecopter now. Okay, good. So now this is good. So he's banking up some cash. So here's the thing. Every gold you don't spend becomes 1.5 gold next turn, right? all the money that you spent will become more powerful later on. You need to think of like that. In fact, ask Colin, as Colin, combining 2 units right before popping your power is actually very strong because you're effectively gaining, you gain interest on everything you do, yeah? So you really got to think like a shrewd capitalist. But I do believe, I think Nightmare's going to call down the meteor soon because he's very close to getting it. It's going to be very, very scary. He's now shooting down the pipe to get the airport. Alright, so Kill Me First has 31 banked up right now, 31k. I think he has to pop Gold Rush now. He's going to get some power charge, but he also wants the 10-10, right? The bonus, the passive day-to-day bonus from the Gold Rush is equally important here to trying to stay alive. The extra defense is very good. But he's getting as much power charge as he can. Now he's maxed out, so he probably just wants to pop Gold Rush immediately at this point, and he does. 47,000 gold. And he has a lot of power banked up too. So if he pops it again next turn, it's going to be even more. But he needs to also make units because Nightmare is going to lay on the pressure now with the Meteor Strike. And he might call down the small meteor, or he might call down the big meteor. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what he does. He's attacking pretty hard on the right-hand side now. He finally breaks down his pipe seam. I'm so glad they upgraded the graphics for those. Ooh, Battlecopter goes down. That's not good. Ooh, okay. He's rushing towards the HQ at this point. So this could be very nasty. Kill Me First is going to probably pop another Gold Rush, I think. He's going to try and get whatever power charge he can. Kills the Battlecopter. But the problem is now there's a meteor coming. He pops his second Gold Rush. 81,000 gold right now. So he has money for a lot of units, but are they going to come out fast enough? He builds 2 Battlecopters. I would very much like to see some Neo-Tanks right now coming out of Colin. But he's building low-tech units at the moment. I'm not sure if I agree with this. I mean, I guess the idea is he wants to pop another Gold Rush next turn, which he can, to get even more cash. But I feel like at this point... okay. So he pops the Super Meteor. We don't see the damage that it did. It landed right here, so not the best Meteor Strike in my opinion. I think it would have been more devastating if it hit here. So it's an okay Meteor Strike, honestly. I guess that's probably why he built the units when he did. If that was a Neo-Tank, I take that back. Neo-Tank would have drawn the Meteor, and he would have just lost it. So actually, Kill Me First did a really good thing here. But look at Nightmare right now. He is just pressuring on all sides. And... the Colin Snowball, it has just started, but I fear it has started too late. Like, he still has a lot of mechs and other units, but at this point, Colin really needs to be pumping out the Neo-Tanks and the Mega-Tanks. And I don't think they're going to get her fast enough. I really do think he needs the Neo-Tanks at this point. And also, ooh, he's building units before popping his power. I don't know if I agree with that. He has to pull back. This is a very dangerous situation for Colin right now. But the pressure is also on Sturm here, because the longer this match goes on, the stronger Colin becomes. Colin becomes exceptionally and progressively stronger for every turn that passes. As the economy goes up, the power starts scaling up. Antaire's taking out the Battlecopters. This is a chaotic brawl right here. Recon's coming in. And what happened to the black boat? It just vanished? I think that was a bug. Yeah, no, it's still here. Because he didn't kill it. But he has artillery in range right now. And he's coming in with Antaire as well. So, yeah, Nightmare is really laying down the pain right now. And look at the unit balance. Like the unit value imbalance. He has almost twice as much as Kill Me First right now. This is very, very scary. Yeah, I think the fact that we have not seen a single Neo-Tank out of Colin yet, I know it probably will just attract a meteor and die. And that's probably why he's not building them, because he doesn't just want them to become meteor fodder. But at this point, he needs high-tech units to fight. And also he's building, he's gonna save up even more. I think at this point you should probably just pop the Gold Rush and go to town. I think he's being a little too slow with Colin here. Like... he's playing Colin a bit more like a standard CO. I don't know. I mean, Kill Me First is a really good player, much better than me, but I can't help but think that his experience as playing Colin, like, I'm not gonna pretend like I know the game better than him, but I feel like he's not optimizing Colin well enough for this. Like, he's building units, not popping. I think at this point, when you're pressured this badly, it's just Gold Rush every turn, baby. Neo tanks, tech up, maybe a Mega Tank. You know, I know it's gonna be a meteor bait, but like at the very least, with a Mega Tank, you can draw the meteor to like a small isolated corner of the map, right? Like, he's building units and not saving up money. But he's kind of doing this half thing where he's sort of saving up money, but not really. But his units are dying, and Sturm is just too powerful here. And he's really he's really fighting in his backyard right now. And now Sturm is teching up with rockets and neo-tanks. 48k. Are we going to see a power of money, maybe? That'd be pretty hype. He does pop it! 48k power of money, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's hype. 48k, so that is a 150% power boost, roughly. Yeah, it's pretty devastating. Tanks will basically one-shot now. Okay, 48k power of money. This is the desperation superpower. He needs to really destroy a lot of units right now. And he is destroying a lot of units. My goodness. Oh, wow. Look at that. Battlecopters destroying Antire, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually pretty hype. My goodness. He kills the... Oh my god, he's killing so many units. Let's go. Power of money. But is it enough, though? Is it enough? I don't think it's enough, ladies and gentlemen. This is strong power of money for sure. He's inflicting a lot of damage. It would be even better if he had his third com tower, though. There's the Mega Tank. Finally some tech up out of Colin right now. Now, here's a question. If you spend money in the midst of power of money, I don't think you lose the firepower. I think the firepower gets set based on the money that you have. I don't think spending money mid-turn is going to deprive you of the firepower bonus. Wow! Okay, that was hype. He actually is ahead of Sturm right now, but the meteor is ready. He has so much firepower right now. Look at this. Like, he needs to be wary of his counterattacks at this point. He can still go for, like, anti-air engagements and whatnot, but that was really, really hype. Always love to see a good power of money. Of course, the problem with Colin is that once he pops his power of money, that is kinda it. He needs to win the fight with that. If he doesn't win the fight with power of money, he has sacrificed so much momentum. Because basically, I mean, once you pop your power of money, that's it. You're not going to get chain gold rushes anymore. So power of money is a power used to end the match. If it doesn't end the match, look, he's completely out of steam right now. He doesn't have power. I think he can probably get a gold rush if he takes a lot of engagements right now, but it's going to be difficult, right? Like, fatigue is setting in right now. You can see the gold rush is now 28k a pop. So it's not going to be as easy to get anymore. And I fear the next meteor. The meteor is probably going to land on the Mega Tank. And I think he's going to make sure that happens. Which is good. I mean, he needs to draw that meteor away somehow, right? But I mean, you see just how scary Colin can be, man. So, is he going to pop the power this turn? I think Nightmare needs more anti-air. There you go. The meteor hits the Mega Tank, as we thought. So it's a good meteor bait for sure. It's expensive though, even for Colin. But man, Sturm looks so terrifying in this matchup right now. Like, Colin just can't kill his units without a power. Like, Sturm's units just will not die. And now he has 4 com towers, so he has a massive firepower bonus over his adversary right now. He is basically Cartridge Sturm at this point with 4 com towers. He's Cartridge Sturm. He has 20% firepower, 20% defense. So I guess Cartridge Sturm showed up in the end. So this is very, very scary. Extremely scary. For Kill Me First. With Cartridge Sturm entering the battlefield, I do believe Colin's days are numbered. But let's see. He might be able to get the snowball rolling again. He has enough power for a gold rush. I wouldn't pop it this turn though. I would try and bank up some more money again. But you can see, like, this was never going to be a quick match, right? Like, we're playing 2 snowball stall ECOs right here. But to me, it seems like Sturm is just untouchable. Because The meteor actually is pretty good against Colin, who likes to like mass up balls of units. And just, this is the death ball I was talking about at the start of the map. Just look at this. How do you fight this? How do you fight this? You're not killing it. The rocket, the artillery, every rocket that gets added on will progressively make the death ball even more scary. And Nightmare is actually spamming a lot of battlecopters right now, which I guess is kind of forces Colin to spend a lot of money on his anti-air, which means he can't produce a bunch of Neos and stuff like that. So, again, the match has entered a bit of a stall right now, but the Sturm Death Ball is going to now advance on this HQ right here. And once it does, I don't think there's anything Kill Me First can do to stop it. But we'll see. So, is he going to save up some money? 13k. He doesn't... He's just barely away from the threshold where he starts to generate infinite money. He's just not allowed to get there. And now the rocket's going to be in HQ range next turn, I do believe. No, okay. He's being very careful. He doesn't want to advance on the HQ right now. Oh, my man is flexing. My man is flexing. Oh, Nightmare is flexing on Colin. My goodness. He builds missiles. Now, here's the thing about Sturm. It's not as much a flex as you may think. Like, Sturm missiles, they still move forward, but they can move through woods. And you keep a missile right here, it can be used to kill some bombers and stuff like that. I don't think it's a 100%. It's a little bit of a flex, because I really do believe, even with perfect movements, missiles are still slow as balls, right? But... I mean, tacking on a missile to your death ball, it does have nice vision at least, 5 vision. It doesn't much vision as a recon, but yeah, I think he's probably flexing a little bit on him right now, but yeah, so Kill Me First is in this weird position now where he has to keep building units because he knows the push is coming, but he also wants to save up money. But he might be saving up for another power of money to try and end the match. I think that might be his only choice right now. But here cometh the death ball. And Nightmare is not going to do like he's going to threaten the base. He can lock the base down with this rocket next turn. But I think his sights are set on the HQ. He's just being very cautious, I think. He doesn't want to run into another power of money. But with 30k, the power of money isn't really going to bite that hard. Mega Tank is out on the field. Oh no, he is popping the power of money. Okay, this is a 90% increased firepower. It's a desperation power of money for sure, but I think he realizes he has to attack right now. I don't think it's going to do enough damage, though. Oh, his battlecopters are one-shotting tanks. That's nice. Okay, alright. One-shotting the mech as well. 90% firepower is strong. I mean, it's basically a Grim superpower. So he becomes Grim for a turn without the reduced defense, which is kind of nice, but I really don't... maybe, we'll see. I mean, he's doing quite a lot of damage. The problem is, when he's building up... He didn't get to the rocket in the back, which I think is the big loss here. But still a really beautiful counterattack from Kill Me First. He's playing really well. I didn't expect to see 2 power of monies popped in this match. So, but the problem is, of course, now... I mean, he builds another Mega Tank, which is good. He needs to draw the next meteor. I think Nightmare can get a meteor off if he wants to. Those battlecopters are all going to die right now. In comes the Neo Tank. And is he going to pop? Yeah, he pops the mid-turn meteor. But once again, Kill Me First drags it over to the Mega Tank. Which, of course, is quite expensive, but it's better than it hitting in the middle of your main army, I guess. Bomber not coming out of Nightmare. He's building all the air units right now. Damn. And I mean, Colin punches back hard, man. It's no easy feat for Sturm to bring him to his knees, but I do think we're seeing... Yeah, there we go. There was sign, and I'm not surprised about this at all. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, the little boy with money was no match for the intergalactic space conqueror. I will say though, I am impressed. I think Kill Me First probably could have done more to bolster his economy early on, but I liked his power of monies. Even though they were kind of like desperation power of monies, he really showed what a well-placed power of money can really do. And I think the first one definitely saved his life. I think the second one was kind of born out of desperation. At that point, the match was probably lost. But the first power of money, I think, did keep him in the match for a little longer than it otherwise would have. But I think I would have liked to see more saving up funds in the early game and trying to get that gold rush ball going. Nightmare was not being super aggressive in the early game. Like, he was kind of giving him a lot of time to build up. But I think Kill Me First was kind of scared that he was going to attack any moment, and so he felt like he had to bolster his army completely. And this is like the mind game with Colin that you have to play. Like, do you trust that your opponent will leave you alone so that you can snowball your money, or do you keep adding on more units in case the attack is coming? This is really what's difficult about playing Colin. Just because Colin is like a broken CO does not mean he doesn't take skill. In fact, I think Colin's skill ceiling is very high. And this is kind of why I would really like for Advanced Wars by Web to balance their COs so everyone can be played in the Global League. Look, I don't know what changes you would need to do to Colin to make him viable in competitive play. You would probably need to tone down his powers a lot. But I would very much like to see Colin join, like, Tier 1. And I think it would be really cool if we saw other COs like Hachi and Combine. With Hachi, you'd probably have to disable his superpower entirely, I think. Because there's no way you can balance building ground units in cities. But Colin, I do believe he is... You can make changes to Colin to make him a Tier 1 CO, I think. And I think this would really spice up the metagame. Adding a couple COs that are never picked into the match. Because, I mean, Colin is a CO that requires a lot of skill to play. If he's up against an equally broken CO, that is. Because there's a lot of decision-making involved here. And a lot... Like, I think it would be so good for the competitive scene to see COs like Colin in just a nerfed form. It'd probably be a nightmare to balance. A nightmare of Hyeonkyo to balance, I guess you could say. But I think this match proves that a matchup like this would be a lot of fun. Like, here's the thing. Like, yeah, if Colin was allowed in the Global League on maps like this, on smaller maps, I don't think he's as broken as people say. Because here you can see, I mean, Nightmare of Hyeonkyo might be a better player than Kill Me First. But you can see Colin doesn't really... He struggles to take games against Sturm, man. At least on a Sturm-focused map like this. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this matchup and Colin as a CO. Do you think... Here's the question for the comment section today. What would you need to do to Colin to make him not broken in competitive play? How would you rebalance Colin? Would you cut his power? Would you reduce his day-to-day? Would you increase his weakness? Like maybe like reduce his firepower to minus 20%? Maybe Gold Rush needs to be like 4 stars? I don't know. I want to hear your redesigned Collins in the comment section below. How would you redesign him for competitive play? Love to hear your answers. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Mangs. Like, comment, and subscribe for more Advanced Wars content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!